We're now looking at Chapter 2, Assignment 1, United Football Club, and it starts on page 46. And the first thing is to create a new spreadsheet workbook and enter the data shown, which I have done for you, but not quite, because there's a tip that says the match names can be copied by filling down. So if we start something saying match 1 and we want to say match 2, match 3, match 4, we can copy or fill down in the same way as we would fill down a formula. And it knows to go match 2, match 3, match 4, match 5, match 6, etc. So we need to go down till we see match 10. 1. Wrap text within cells in row 3 as shown. So what's happening here is that we have columns that are not wide enough for the headings. So usually we adjust the column so that they are wide enough for the headings, but in this case we're going to adjust the headings so that they fit the column. So I'll do it for the heading in B3 and I click wrap text. And a tip says, with the cell pointer in a cell where the text has been wrapped, click the Format Painter button and then highlight any other cells where you want to wrap the text. So we've done that. Question 2 says, calculate total attempts on goal using the sum function. So if you're very familiar with a function, you can type it in yourself, but a very useful way of inserting a function is to use the formula palette. So when you look at your formula bar, there's a little button to the left of it which is FX, which when you hover your cursor on it will show you the label insert function. Another way of getting the exact same thing is to go into the formulas tab and you have a much bigger version of that button there. So if I click insert function, you get this, which is called the formula palette, and you can ask for the thing you're looking for, search for a function. So sum, we click go, and then in the list that comes up, probably what you're looking for will come to the top of the list. So we click on sum and we click OK. And in this case, it's making a suggestion that you want to add from B4 to B14. And in fact, we really only need to add from B4 to B13. So I'm just going to change that B14 to B13. And I will say OK on that. And it has inserted the function equals sum, open a bracket, B4 colon B13, close the bracket. The colon is very important there because that explains to the computer that you're saying from B4 up to and including B13. We're going to use another function in the next question. Question 3, calculate average attempts on goal using the average function. So in the same way, I'm going to click on FX. I'm going to type in average and click on go. I get a number of suggestions, but the one I want is average, the straightforward one, and we say OK. And this time it's suggesting from B4 to B15 because it's a little confused, but we actually know that we want to go as far as B13. So we will change that to B13 and say OK. The function to ascertain the highest number would be max. So again, fx, max, click go, choose max, say OK. And now it's completely confused and doesn't really know what to get the maximum of. So we can just delete what's there and type in B4 colon B13. Press enter to have that accepted or click OK. And similarly for question 5, we're going to use the min function to calculate the lowest number of attempts on goal. So fx, min, click go, say OK. Again, it's making a bit of a random suggestion, but we know that we want to get the range B4 to B13. So B4 colon B13 and say OK to that. Question 6 says copy all functions using fill right. So At the bottom of the column for attempts on goal, we have functions that work out the total, the average, the highest, and the lowest. So that block of 4 things from B15 to B18 can be highlighted, and we're going to use the fill handle to copy that to all the positions to the right. And the thing to remember when you're using the fill handle is to be sure that you've got the right cursor. So if you're just highlighting, you want a white cross, but if you're using the fill handle, you need that cursor to change to little black crosshairs. So I put my mouse finger down on the mouse button and pull across with the fill handle. And those functions have filled in for all the other columns. Then question 7 says center the heading in row 1 across columns A to H. So A1 to H1. Back to the Home tab, merge and center. The merge and center button can be used to center a heading within a range of selected cells. We've already learned that. Question 8 says format the headings in bold as shown. So the column headings are all in bold. And the main heading, United Football Club, is in bold. Center the data in columns B to H, so B, C, D, E, F, G, and H, and we will center that data. Now, ordinarily, we would normally like to see numbers right aligned, but when you've got a small single digit or double digit numbers in a wide column, they do look better centered. Question 10 says, change attempts on goal in match 1 to 12. So at the moment, it's saying 5. We're going to change that to 12. And then we're going to verify that we're getting the same results as the textbook. So when we press enter, our results should change. And the total attempts on goal is now 72. The average is now 7.2. And the highest attempts is now 12. And save the spreadsheet.